Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Frank Finance, where you can get your honest financial information and your questions answered. Today, we're going to talk about RoboAdvisors. The reason why I want to talk about RoboAdvisors is it's a form of investing where you basically put money into an account and you let someone else manage it for you. Traditionally, you might know of this as very large, wealthy individuals will pay other people to try to beat the market, if you will. And RoboAdvisors are a safe way for you to basically get the same things that you see in your 401k, like a target fund or a 70% stock, 30% bond portfolio, and they manage it for you. You just put the money in and they find a way to make money for you. So let's talk through a couple of robo-advisors and do I think it's a good idea. So across the top, I've got a Windows web browser open. I've got Betterment, I've got M1 Finance, Wealthfront, Acorns, and Personal Capital. We'll talk about each one of them, and full disclosure, the only one that I personally use is Betterment. So I'm actually going to give you a little sneak peek inside of it so you can see what it looks like on kind of the once you're signed up kind of thing. And I actually use Betterment for my HSA, which recently I started investing my balance that I'm allowed to invest. So it's heavily into safe investments, as you'll see shortly. But the one thing when you're looking at robo-advisors, so whether it's Betterment or Acorns, they're going to have a common theme. That theme is going to be either they're going to be a percent of your balance is what they charge you to do this work for you, basically, while you just give them money and they invest it. Or the one big one that pops out is Acorns, where they charge a monthly fee, whether you're at X dollar put in or Y dollar, doesn't matter, they charge you the same. So basically, the more money you have in, the Acorns will charge you less on a management fee, whereas the higher the funds you have, things like Betterment and so forth would actually charge you more money. So let's get to it. So you get to Betterment, you're going to look at investing with them. Again, it's a robo-advisor. So down here is pick their plan. So for instance, there's different plans that are available for you, checking and savings, which is not what we're talking about, but over here on the right is their robo-advisor. So for instance, where you can look at the different plans available to you, digital investing versus premium investing, and how much it's going to cost you. So 0.25% annual fee versus 0.24%. So for instance, the higher the rate, typically all these areas are going to be more active in trying to get you more money than what the market would be if you were to just be in a traditional index fund. So again, Betterment, I use them, and what I was referencing before is basically it's just a bunch of index funds. So if you are savvy at doing this yourself, I would highly recommend you just do this yourself, but I'll hold my comments on that until the end. So for instance, here's my personal HSA account. I picked 30% stock, 70% bonds, and you can see down here below it shows you the weightings of what's in each bucket, which is nice. So it allows you, and if I open this up, it shows me what index funds they're investing in. So for instance, this is the total market ETF for Vanguard. And if I close this up and I look at large cap, kind of the same concept. It's just a bunch of Vanguard stocks that they picked for you. For those that have watched my investing video where I changed up my portfolio to be just index funds, this is why I feel comfortable with Betterment, even though I'm paying 0.25% to them for them to manage this for me. It's basically them picking a bunch of index funds. So if you're savvy and you're comfortable with getting index funds and managing it yourself, why pay someone 0.25% to do that for you unless you really want a hands-off approach? Because when you think about the grand scheme of it, what is that? 0.25% per 10,000 is $25. Is it really that big of a deal to let someone else do it for you? That's up to you to decide. All right. So what's the second one that I have out there for people to look at that I've heard a lot of good things about? And actually, M1 Finance, so here's their sweet website. They have a really, really nice digital front. I really like what they have. And one comment while we're talking about digital front, Betterment has an awesome app that you just, can pop up. It's really easy to use. I enjoy it so far. I don't have any complaints on Betterment so far. So as we're talking about the sweet app, you can see right here. Now this is where you can be, M1 Finance really has the ability for you to really split up and diversify in so many different ways. And so from what I've seen and what I've read on M1 Finance, I'm kind of curious to get in it, but I just don't need another app for me to use and manage my funds with. What I am passing along as information for you guys is that I know that if you give them $1,000 to invest in their diversified funds, they're actually giving you $30 to do that. So if you'd like to look that up, M1 Finance has a nice kind of sign-on bonus. So as you look at it, they have really nice videos too along the way, which is another thing I really like M1 Finance. So if you were to go in here and you were to want to say you wanted to invest, they'd walk you through piece by piece to basically help you customize and go into what you're interested in, what you think should be out there. And then you can see here, you could say maybe 10% of your portfolio you want in bonds or this or that, and where do you want them at. They have very diversified portfolios available for you to pick, which you can see here. This aerospace defense concept was something new to me, even seeing that out on their website. So when you think about their fees though, when you click on the fee bucket, you can see all the different fees that they have out here for you. They do have what would be a subscription fee out there if you're getting the more upgraded services for $125. So again, depending on how much you're actually investing and how much you care about those fees, it's something to look at. But one thing I do again want to reference back to, whether it's M1 Finance, Betterment, or any of these ones we're about to view, it's literally them investing in a bunch of index funds or sectors for you. So let's not beat around the bush and think of this as some magical formula. For the most part, and I could be wrong, but I do not know of any of these areas that are picking and buying stocks like GME and AMC and trying to find ways to get these insane 1,000% overnight growths that are occurring, whether it's in crypto or the shorts that are occurring in those stocks I just referenced. So these are very safe, diverse portfolios where they are very passive in a way by getting into index funds. So now the next one I want to talk about is Wealthfront. So Wealthfront, this is another one that's out there. Heard great things about them. I have zero interest in opening stuff with them, but their fees, 0.25%. Again, their advisory fees are just like Betterment, same rate. And it's really nice how they walk you through it. Just as I'd referenced, they have very good reviews across the board for RoboAdvisors. All right, the final one's Acorns. So Acorns here, you could see and have probably heard about it, how this rounds up your money, how you see fit, basically with a target retirement. So you've got the round up spare change that we just talked about. You can build a portfolio by paying managers to do this for you. And portfolios, again, stocks, bonds, what area of stocks? Do you want it the S&P 500, large cap, mid cap, small cap? Do you want it sectors? All those sweet things you can do, and they walk you through this really well. And so Acorns has done a phenomenal job of getting market share by doing that. But again, look down here. Depending on how you pick your type of portfolios, moderate. VU, that's literally an index fund with Vanguard. They're taking a portion of your funds to create a bunch of index funds together. And the pricing, which is really transparent, depending on what you're doing, the light, personal, or family, again, Acorns picks approach where they ask for a certain portion of funds per month, where other areas ask for a % of your balance. Now, which one is better? It really comes down to your decision on what market you want to pick. So hopefully this helped you start thinking about RoboAdvisors. If you want a simple, slick way to start investing, open up a RoboAdvisor. I would personally just open up a TD account, a Webull account, and just look at 2, maybe 3 index funds and invest in those. Have a split between the total stock market and have a split to give towards the total bond market. That would be way simpler, and you're not paying someone else management fees to do it. So hopefully this was informational for you, and you have a great rest of your day.